Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Nick Drinks. I'm your host, Nick Britsky, and we have a special guest in the studio. We have Matt Carter, who is the staff mixologist for RNDC.
Nick Drinks.
Hey, how you doing?
So tell me, what is RNDC?
RNDC is Republic National Distributing Company. It's one of two alcohol distributors in the state of Michigan and one of the largest distributors in the country.
So when you kind of look at the three-tier system, you are the middle tier.
Yeah, we would be, we deal directly with suppliers who provide the alcohol into the state, and then we are the distributor that brings it. So we don't technically own any of the alcohol that we house. We just facilitate the distribution of the alcohol to different locations, whether they're liquor stores or bars and restaurants.
And specifically, your talents are used for your mixology skills.
Yep, my talents are used for primarily menu development. And as well as new product launches or any type of staff training that could go along with that. So technique or even product training as well.
Great. And if you follow Matt on Instagram, you can see his beautiful new bar that he has for doing these corporate trainings, which is absolutely great.
Yeah, it'll be phenomenal. Something brand new for us. Michigan's never had a room like that for this type of position.
That's great.
So I'm really excited to get in there and start doing some demonstrations there for sure.
So this position was new when you came in?
This position had been around for a couple years. It's going to be the first type of position that's going to have a room facilitated exactly for that.
You started bartending at Townhouse.
Yep.
In Birmingham.
Yep, I opened Townhouse in Birmingham.
Okay.
I was a bar manager there in the beginning, and then I was there for a little over a year. And then I moved on to Sugar House, and Sugar House is really where I got going with the craft cocktail bartending.
And now that you're in this new position, how have you seen kind of the program around Michigan change?
More and more places are opening up. I am blown away by the amount of new openings. People still unfamiliar with a lot of the places that have even been there for a long time. And it's just really exciting to see the growth as a style of bartending, as an old classic style of bartending specifically, and see the customers that are excited about it, and seeing new people that are getting excited about it working in those places as well, which is really cool to me.
Cool. Well, you are a great friend to have because you brought some Glendalough.
I did. I brought a new product to the state of Michigan, Glendalough. This product is a rose gin out of Whitlock, Ireland. They're right in the Whitlock Valley. It is a glacial valley in Ireland. It was founded by St. Kevin, who is actually the gentleman on the bottle there, in about the 6th century. It is one of the oldest distilleries in the world that land there that they distill on. This product is unique and interesting to me, something very exciting because it is all wild foraged botanicals that are picked, including wild Irish roses that are picked from the valley of Whitlock and then are actually done fresh in the still. So they're made, all of their botanicals for their gin are macerated fresh. In there, which is something pretty unique. It looks like grass clippings inside the copper pot still, which is pretty cool. A couple more of the subtle flavors are actually done in the top of the Carter head still in the casket, which would be classic for gins. And yeah, the natural color there, they don't add anything to it. It's just from the maceration of the roses.
Now, being a wild foraging, does that mean this is kind of small batch, or does that limit them?
It's very small batch. They're saying that availability is pretty good, though. It's not something that's going to be one-off. It's going to be on liquor shelves. It is distributed now, so you can buy it. You can ask a local liquor store if they were able to get it. Just been listed for a few weeks now. It's going to be right around $36 shelf price.
Okay, great.
So definitely very reasonable, very approachable, something pretty unique too.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So is Ireland known for gin?
Ireland isn't classically known for gin. I mean, they're really known for their distilling, and it was a pretty cool experience to have one of the owners directly from Ireland.
Not Kevin.
No. To come do our presentation and just talk to us about the history of what they do. And I mean, Ireland really was like the forefront. Like Scotland kind of took Scotch from Ireland.
Oh.
And
I feel like
that's
a whole other video.
Yeah. That's a whole nother video, and I'm sure the Scotch have something different to say about that too.
Sure.
So, but it was a really cool product to hear the story about. St. Kevin actually would wade waist deep in the water of the Glacier Valley, and you can see there's a blackbird in his hand, and he would actually would raise his hands up when he prayed, and a blackbird landed and nested and laid eggs, and he stood there waist deep in the glacial water in the valley until the birds hatched and went off on their own. And that's kind of where their story is, and they wanted that dedication to product as he was dedication to spirit in general, and their dedication to spirit too.
And is this the first product that we have from Glendalough, or is there a base gin that's also
there's a base gin as well. They also have a really nice line of whiskeys as well. Classic. One of the ones that's really unique that they do is actually they do a Japanese Mizunara cask, 13-year.
Okay.
That is really amazing. They work with one of the top Mizunara cask producers in Japan, and they get like top pick of those amazing wood casks, which we know are pretty expensive now just because of the desire of putting whiskey in them, especially with Japanese whiskey.
And is Mizunara a type of wood?
Yeah, Mizunara is a Japanese type of wood. It's actually very delicate, and if you think in terms of actually aging liquid in it, it would really not be a really efficient wood. You can mark it, you can score it with a fingernail. You could walk up to...
So it's like cork almost.
Yes, you could walk up to Mizunara wood and score it with your finger.
Okay.
And that actually makes it not ideal because it's going to soak up a lot and you're going to lose a lot, angel share. But you get a lot of more flavor from the wood. You get an extreme amount of flavor because you get a lot more of that breathing through the very porous wood.
Fascinating. All right, well, let's give this a whirl.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. I mean, as soon as we poured it, the whole bouquet just filled up this room.
Amazing product. It's great. It's got the real nice classic gin botanicals on there, and then the good floral finish on it. Not sweet, not like a rosé.
No,
you know, you see that it's really hot, and they're actually okay with people just glancing at it and thinking rosé on the bottle. The owner himself was like, you know what, I would love people think it's rosé and them to just be able to buy it and grab it and drink it because we're going to sell bottles that way. But it's not exactly what it is, but you definitely have that. You have that nice floral note on the back end for sure.
And it's not overpowering. It plays really nicely with the juniper because it has to.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's... I feel like of some of the floral forward products I've had, it really bangs you over the head with the flowers. And this is really nicely integrated in here.
It's really subtle. And I think a lot of that comes from the fresh flowers. Fresh flowers are not something that are typically done in any type of distillation or production. There's a few gin companies that do fresh citrus peel. They're buying citrus peels already done in bulk. They're not peeling them fresh, for obvious reasons, because of the production and the amount of product that they're producing. But this is something where they're making it in small enough batches in a single Carter head copper pot still, and they are able to just fill it with the fresh wild forage botanicals. It's just one woman going around. Her signature's on the bottle. She's just one woman going around picking the just local flora from around the distillery and around the Whitlock Valley, which is pretty amazing. And I think that instead of the dried product is really what gives that nice subtle flavor.
Yeah. So when you think of that story of something that seems so hands-on, it sounds like a very premium product.
It does.
Yeah. And when you look at kind of the growth of Michigan, I feel like this is stuff we wouldn't get, 9-8 years ago.
No, it's not. When I started doing this from a craft perspective, I definitely saw from a buyer standpoint the disappointment of having new things that were really awesome being brought in and then become unavailable. Yeah. And I mean, it's as simple as something like a maraschino, where it would come in and out of stock very frequently, or some new interesting product lines from new emerging brands. Yeah. And a lot of it is controlled state liquor distribution, and there are minimums, and I learn about that a lot more now with my current position. But there are minimums that once a product does get listed, they have marks that they need to sell. But stuff like this, I feel like just with the amount of places that are opening up, that gives a lot more legs to what these companies need to do to keep their stuff around.
And it was a give and take, because I feel like you had to educate the consumers to want something like this, and then you have to have the bars to serve it.
Sure.
So it's just super, super neat. And what also blows me away is the color. I mean, that is a great rosé color. and it's natural. So I'm totally digging it.
I mean, great in classic cocktails, great in gin and tonics. I don't feel like it's going to lose, even though it is a more delicate floral flavor. I think it's going to work in a lot of great cocktails. Still, something like an Alaska or something like a, like even a Toronto, where it's going to stand up to like Fernet or something, where it's still very heavy botanical, but I feel like it could still give that nice little slight change in flavor.
Yeah.
To something like that. It would be a great addition to any cocktail, any craft spirit.
Just a beautiful color on a martini. You
Just a
get
beautiful martini, for sure.
Well, how can people find out more about you?
More people can find out about me on through my Instagram.
Okay.
It's Matthew. It's at Matthew RNDC.
Okay.
And I mean that's probably the best way to get a hold of me right now.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well, cheers. Thanks so
Awesome.
much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you like more of Nick Drinks, you can find me on youtube.com/Nick Drinks. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at nickdrinks.com. And of course, our website at nickdrinks.com as well. So many .coms. Matt, thanks a lot.
All the .coms. Thanks, Nick.
Cheers. Till next time, everyone.
Cheers.